Hey, what's going on, guys? You have all been begging me forever to finally get back to Journal 3. However, there is indeed a particular reason why I haven't been. Mainly, it's because I couldn't find too much else to discuss, except of course the ending of Journal 3. So you know what? Why the heck not just finish it once and for all, unless I totally skipped a bunch of stuff, which I did. And I'll get to why later. But before we get started, let me introduce you once more to the mighty, to the amazing, the Gravity Falls Fanatics hyping app itself, the Gravity Falls Amino app. I'm still a member and I'm officially a number 7 in reputation with over half 1,000 followers. You could do me a favor and follow me so that way I could be a step closer to 1,000. That would be grand. Get it? Cause a grand is 1,000? Ah, whatever. This is your chance to prove just how loyal you are to the show and to hear from other theorists other than me. Stalk my post and add more things to your own favorite list so you can stare at them forever. And if you're interested in chatting with me, then dude, download this app and come over to TNBT. Just remember, it's the one with 500 followers. But seriously though, you'll have a much better chance contacting me through the Amino app than through the comments section. Alright. Now that I'm pretty confident that you've gone to get the app, it's time to decode some pages that most of you have been wanting me to unravel. This page is the same page as the one seen in the episode Not What He Seems, and exclaims the exact same translation as the show. But the only difference is that the show uses the author's ciphers while the real life edition is used with Bill's symbolism. So does that mean Bill might have something to do with Ford's thoughts on infinite worlds and girls, or is it just different for no reason? Not too sure why the creators decided to slide this in the final production, but maybe Bill is still a part of Stanford. Nah. Also, there are some words written in cursive which can be deciphered by using the 3 letters back method. However, in the show it's all in scribbles. The first one is on the top left, and so it reads, calibrate the arculator to 618, while the next one at the bottom says charge flux capacitor. Further down at the top right, it reads Oasis 153.4, Chasem 130.3, Clock Tower 55.6, Crystal Forest 15.0, Underground Tunnel 212.2. Okay, this one was extremely tricky for me because I thought that the cursive Z's were capital L's, so yeah. There's that. Anyways, the code is access whistle in world 1 to warp to world 2, 3, or 4. Oh yeah, and in case you were curious, that took me 4 or 5 retakes just to say that. That was a tongue twister. The bottom says once more charge flux capacitor, and the left side when rotated 90 counterclockwise is enter security code Emmerich. And lastly, oh my gosh, the one on top right corner of the very next page is the order of the marker switches is on page 158. Now saying these codes together makes me believe that these are the instructions for starting up the portal, since Ford wanted to keep the instructions on how to do many things in the journal. But in case if anyone were to steal the journal for evil, that person would have to know how to decode them. The next page is basically when Ford becomes extremely insane over the paranormal activities in Gravity Falls, mainly the extravagant hauntings from Bill Cipher himself. Now honestly, I'm not going to go over the entire section, mainly because it's been covered all over on YouTube already, and I wanted to skip ahead to some things that haven't been talked about before. However, if there are enough people in the comment section that tell me to do otherwise and go over these pages that I'm skipping, then please let me know. But if you already have seen it on YouTube before, then please just let me know that as well, because I don't want to make an extra video reiterating what people have already said. But with all that being said, I have a question for you. What exactly took place after the events of Weirdmaggedon? This was indeed answered in a more summarized version in the show, but something interesting was revealed in the journal. After the ending, the journals were originally back to the way they were before and no longer burnt even after what Bill had done to them before. Due to his defeat, practically everything caused by Bill was reversed as if nothing had ever happened. According to Dipper, Seuss once again conveniently found another mystery out. The journals. He supposedly found them in the middle of the woods. I mean, come on, Seuss finds everything. So Dipper pretty much explains what happened to them when they were fighting against Bill and his army, and there's even a full diagram of the Shacktron itself along with a giant glowing crotch. But I guess Dipper crossed that out. Alex, you sneaky man, sliding in those dirty jokes. I guess Disney can't censor him for that. The next page is the Zodiac Explained, and the next is something that needs to be hugely exposed out to all of the Gravity Falls fans. This statement that Dipper says debunks a certain theory that's been surfing around the internet for some time now. If you love to go deep in on Gravity Falls, you most likely have definitely heard of this theory before. And please, don't get me wrong, that was the absolute greatest theory I've ever heard for the ending. Ever, period, hands down. But on the other hand, that is why we theorists title most of our videos as theories. Because even if it's the most convincing theory on the planet, it still has a chance to be debunked in the end. And it hurts. Trust me. And I was wrong about Seuss and how I said don't trust him, but in the end we found out, you know, I suppose he is just a regular person in the show that keeps bumping into significant things. I guess that's just his character, so I misunderstood that. I mean, he is conveniently called the Handyman. Dipper explains how Stanley was able to recover from his memory loss in such a minimum amount of time, since they attempted to freshen his mind in such a short span of time. The erasing effect still wasn't as devastating as McGucket's tragic memory loss. It was only less than an hour before they actually tried to do anything. Just simply showing pictures and videos of their loved ones actually brings back their memory really fast. So the exact same method is working for McGucket just as good, but only at a much slower rate. And apparently Stanley's favorite foods are toffee peanuts and bacon. Oh yeah, that sounds pretty good right now, I'm not gonna lie. And I don't know what toffee peanuts are, but they sound good. Ford even steps in on trying to recover the memories from their childhood by retelling all of their past childhood events. He even constantly apologizes for the many things he did, and by displaying old films from when they were kids. Going further into the ending, we also find out that the pages that were ripped out even were placed back into its original format. Apparently the pages smell better too. Oh my gosh, I didn't think anyone else did that besides me, but I think smelling books is a real life addiction. I don't think it's books either, I think it's plastic in general too. I should probably get that checked out. And even though it's no secret at all that Dipper has his own journals now, you're probably wondering where in the world are the real journals. After Dipper writes in his entry inside of the journal, Stanford comes by and actually explains the whole situation. In the end, Stanford and the gang decide to burn it. Okay, no, not really. They actually threw it down the bottomless pit. It's later explained that it was actually all Dipper's idea to throw it down the bottomless pit, and to throw all of the Bill Cipher artifacts inside of the mystery shack inside of the fire. And you know what? That's a pretty good idea. Except that if you've watched my older Journal 3 video, you may know that it was revealed that the items thrown inside of the bottomless pit go into the nightmare realm. Not too sure if we should worry about that, but it's gonna be fine. And so in the end, Stanford says that he's gonna focus more on people and loved ones instead of sticking his head in books all the time. And the funny part is that I should do the same and end this video. I've been shoving my face into my computer for days now, and it's time to take a break. But it won't be for long. Or it probably will, considering the fact that this is Thanksgiving week. The Star vs. the Forces of Evil episode is today, and I intend on discussing it. I hope you all loved the video, and I'll see you all in the next one.